I'm gonna start streaming right now just so we're live.
Okay. And then I guess we should probably talk about Harden, right?
Yeah.
Are the Celtics rumored to do anything?
Not really. Not anymore.
No.
Um,
Yeah, what? How is that fair that they traded Joe Ingles and his expiring contract when he's hurt?
I don't know. In 2K, you're not allowed to do it, which is weird.
Yeah, I know you're not.
But in
What? I don't even know who Alexander Walker is.
he gets like 11 points a game. He's just like some role player on the Jazz. And then did we talk about that? We did talk about Norman Powell.
Yeah, we did that last episode.
The only interesting part about the Nickel Walker is that they just got him in that New Orleans trade. The
Oh, they did?
So they just flipped
I
him.
didn't even know that. Gotcha.
All right. All right, I have all three pulled up.
Okay.
Go. Jesus Christ! I gotta get some water.
Wait, pair with Zion? What's Zion doing?
I haven't seen Zion in eons. All right, let me finish up my top 5 real quick, and then we can get started. I got a new phone.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. My old one, it just stopped charging. I had to only. I had for the past like 4 days. I only had to only wirelessly charge it. It was a pain in the ass, and the battery life was god awful.
Yep, that's what they do. Remember when that like report came out where they're like, studies show that Apple is like deteriorating old phones. We're like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we knew that for a while.
Yeah. Some guy in the. Actually, I might say this on the pod. It was kind of funny.
Okay. Wait, did I post on Instagram? No, I didn't. I don't see. Where's our stream?
It's up.
Yeah, it has like the icon that we're live, but I can't get to it. What's going on? There it is. All right, audio's good.
Sweet. I got my list.
Yeah.
Right. I know. That's
So
gross.
loud.
Oh, was it?
A little bit.
Sorry. I'll make sure to try to mute myself during the pod, so I don't just yak into it.
Why'd you say Derek Carr is an L?
You don't want Derek Carr.
I kind of want Derek Carr.
We could talk about it.
Well, should I throw Russ on there? 'Cause I've
What?
done a 180 on Russ.
Yeah. I want. Well,
on our lineup.
I was gonna start up with something, so I was
Okay.
gonna ask you how you felt after a week later. So.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get started. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, Chris. I mentioned to you earlier. I got a new phone because the iPhone loves to poop itself later in the years. Even though mine's only, I think they're on. I have a 12. I got a 12 now. I think they were on 13, and I had a 10.
I've lost track.
I don't-
of,
yeah.
like, where we are.
'Cause, like,
I think I
sometimes-
have an 11, but I'm not positive.
Because sometimes they do like pros and maxes and pluses.
Right.
Just they add up
They
random stuff.
they have a smaller one now too. Like my sister got a new phone recently, and hers is smaller.
So now they're going
Like
back to
they
smaller.
went from going big, small. Now it's like whatever you want. I guess.
Remember, my mom, I remember she came home one time and was like, "Oh, I got the new iPhone," and her iPhone was like this big. I was like, "Mom, you just bought an iPad,"
Yeah, right.
and then now I guess they're going smaller. But
Yeah.
they'll
They can't fold now, right? That's Samsung, right?
No, Samsung can fold. The iPhones can't fold. They
I don't like that at
will.
all.
I know they
Yeah.
will be able to fold eventually.
Mhm.
The folding doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't. It's like back to the flip phone.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
So I'm in the AT&T store this morning, and there's a guy that comes in there, and there's like 3 people in line, and like we're just like chatting or whatever, and they're like, some woman's like, "Oh, like, how old's your phone that you're getting new on?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a 10." Some mom in front of me was like, "Oh, I got an 8." And some dad in front of her was like, "Beat you guys, I have a 6." And was talking to the guy, and the guy was like, "What are you here for? Like an upgrade?" And the guy was like, "Nah, I just need a charger." What? So the guy,
The thing is a relic at this point.
the guy went all the way to the AT&T store instead of like anywhere you can get a charger. Bought a charger from there. Waited. He was there before I walked in, so was waiting for like probably a good 20 minutes to get that charger, and had an iPhone 6. He left, and the woman behind me that was like asking everyone questions, she was like, "No way in hell that thing's staying alive ever, even if he has a charger." I was like, "Yeah."
Honestly, he probably works for Apple, so he just knows how to like fix up the phone when they try to slow it down. That's the only explanation for that.
Or he's just like some old geezer, and he was talking about why you need the charger. He's like, "Man, this phone stays alive for like 2 hours." I was like, maybe you should like get a new phone.
Because it's 10 years old.
Maybe because it's probably 12. I don't know when the 6 came out. Who knows? But so that was hilarious. But
AT&T store is like the worst place to spend an afternoon, and it's never like, oh, I'm gonna run to the AT&T store real quick.
No,
it's like,
no.
I'm gonna go to the AT&T store and
For
it's
2
gonna
hours.
be a whole event.
yes, it's
And I'm
you have
not
to take
gonna
a
get
part
much
of your
done.
you have to get a part of your day out
Uh-huh.
to go to the AT&T store.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And
It's like going to the DMV, but
yes,
even worse.
it could be even worse. There was the one right by where I live in Columbia. It's run by I think they I've heard they were like students, and I've seen one guy in there, and I've been in there twice, because first of all, you can't go into the AT store once. It has to be like twice to do whatever you need to do. And the guy, he was doing a one-man show, one-man job, and he was killing it. Gotta admit, gotta give props to him. He was and people were complimenting him on him killing it. They're like, "Look, you're not trying to like sell us anything. You just come in, we tell him what you want, and you get us what you want." And he's like, "Man, it makes everything more efficient." So I was like, "Yeah."
It's a
man.
tough place to run the floor. There was a lady one
that
time
would not
there
be
that
fun
was
at
like
all.
trying to recruit me to work there, basically.
"Oh, hell no."
She was like, "Oh yeah, like the benefits here are so good, and then they'll like pay for college, and I make this much." And I'm like, "Lady, I don't know anything about phones."
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not.
She's like, "Oh, they teach you everything," and I'm like, "I don't want to deal with people like me coming in
Yeah,
to have like one iCloud for their whole family, and then you have to figure that out because they can't." Do it
no,
by
yeah,
themselves,
I'm not
so.
touching any of that stuff. Especially, I feel like if I were to work on Android, it'd probably be easier. Because Apple, it's just like everything's connected somehow and it works, and I don't understand. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the pod. And I got to say, Chris, we're a week in. Literally a week from the Commanders announce. How do you feel?
I don't really think about it much anymore. So I think that's a good thing. I'm more so like onto the football side.
All right.
Where it's like, all right, we've had the dust is settled, at least for me. It's like whatever. It's not gonna make me mad anymore. Probably until I see him on the field.
And you've mentioned to me, I haven't mentioned it publicly to the listeners, but you've done a 180 on a certain quarterback.
All right, so I still think that Russell Wilson coming here would like bother me. Not him but like having him as my quarterback would definitely inevitably cause problems. However, I've listened to some local radio, spent some time on Twitter, and I've decided that it would be a significant enough upgrade that they might have a shot at something with him. I'll be all on board.
There's definitely no reason, like there's no world where the Commanders get Russell Wilson and you're like, oh, this is terrible.
I know.
This is terrible.
Well, because I feel like I've just said so many times how much I don't like him.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. I can give you a couple seconds to think. Who are your top 5? Like who are your choices right now for quarterback?
Rodgers is 1. Wilson is 2. And then probably go to the draft and just stick with Heineke.
So you want either the 2 superstars or a rookie?
I think so.
I
would take Derek Carr, though.
I wouldn't.
I would be like a little bit excited about Derek.
You're
Carr.
asking to make the 7th
give
seed.
Up that much.
You're asking to make the 7th seed and then lose to the 2 seed.
Yes. I mean, they won a division with Haskins and Alex Smith and Colt McCoy or not Colt McCoy.
Oh, we got a live fan asking for the end of the season record already. We don't even know what the team looks like, but he wants to see it.
11-6.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
With Rodgers, it's an automatic 13 wins.
Oh yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
With Russ, I'm gonna say 10-7, 11-6. With anyone else, we're sitting at like 7-10 again.
It's pretty fair, I think.
That's the full breakdown.
I think that's pretty fair.
With Carr, it's 9-8, and that's a guarantee.
9-8 wild card spot.
You can take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's definitely a guarantee. All right, we got enough football to talk about on Friday because we're saving all of our Super Bowl stuff. Mega Super Bowl pod.
The props will be
prop
coming in
bets, wise picks, all the Super Bowl talk coming Friday. But right now, tomorrow we thought we'd be ready. This is gonna be the trade deadline. We don't have to do any predictions. Everything's going to be done already. But no, apparently it's tomorrow.
I don't know how that slipped past both of us.
No, because I was like last week. Oh, I knew today, I knew yesterday. I was like, oh, we have until Thursday. But this whole upcoming week, I was going into the week like, oh, Wednesday pod. Deadline's going to be just over, fresh. Luckily, some trades happened beforehand that we haven't talked about, which... Chris, I want to add to the list that we got to talk about Karis LeVert as well, which we can talk about later. But the major trades is the first one is the Sabonis trade, where the Indiana Pacers receive Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Tristan Thompson, and the Kings receive Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb, and a second-round pick. I mean, I just kind of think it's I think 2 teams that weren't going anywhere are now not going to go anywhere. So
it's weird I get why they did it, but it's weird for a team that's in the Kings position to make a move for a guy like Sabonis. That's obviously going to make them better, but not like significantly better enough to even like make a playoff push. I don't think. I mean, maybe get into the play-in, but then like going forward, I don't know where it puts them.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. They want to make the play-in game, I guess. They don't want to rebuild, clearly. And I just don't see why. Like, they've been so ass for so long. Like they've been so bad for so long that,
Right.
and I don't know. They didn't have many moves on the table because they signed Fox to this massive deal. They did have 3 point guards. They chose one of them to get rid of. And the major thing I've heard about the Kings is that everyone's crying about Tyrese Halliburton getting traded.
What do you mean?
All the Kings fans.
I mean, like it wasn't going to work out with him anyway. Like him and Fox on the same team.
No, exactly.
Makes sense to begin with. So like they kind of had to do it, but I don't know. Like Halliburton's not close to his prime yet. Sabonis is. So,
I agree.
It's like you're making a move to compete now rather than later, which I don't know. I mean, they need to win at some point. Like they need to just get in the playoffs.
They need to do
like
something.
A little bit of life.
Yeah, they've had. I think it's probably like 16 years they haven't made the playoffs or something like that.
That's like crazy. Unacceptable for an NBA team when half the league makes the playoffs every year.
Yeah, and now more than half. Now they make the play-in, I guess the play-in's not really playoffs, but 8 teams make it, and 10 teams have a shot to make it. It's really ludicrous that this ever happens. And what I don't understand is they had pieces to like trade, and like now they have Harrison Barnes, their center, and I totally forget their center's name, but he doesn't work well with Sabonis, and Holmes and Sabonis, and it's like, I guess what is nice is you have Sabonis and Fox, 2 people that aren't 2-point guards or 2 shooting guards. You have like 2 stars or 2 max players on, one in the front court, one in the back court. So I guess that's nice. But I just don't think this changes the needle to go anywhere, you know? Like Sabonis just came from an ass team, so now it's just he's just on another one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, if they can play together and it works, they'll end up looking pretty good doing it. I mean, they're both borderline all-star guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're both getting paid like they should be all-star guys. So the future, I guess it's a little bit brighter. Clearly, the Pacers are in the tank. They want a top 5 pick. Yep. I think Buddy Hield I think he might get flipped again before tomorrow, just because like he is a shooter that some teams will want, and he has no point on this team. This team doesn't want him. So, and they got Halliburton, who's 21, and all the analytic guys love him. All the people that I listen to love him. So, I guess it's a good trade for Indiana, and now they'll get him, and they'll probably get one of the top 5 players. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it was a really good move on their part. It's just to say like, all right, we're moving on finally from this like little stretch where we were like, they had a couple decent seasons with this roster, but mainly just mediocrity, and now like it's all falling apart. So actually moving on and like trying to become younger, that's like a really good sign if you're a fan.
And there's an issue, like the issue with some NBA teams is they stick too long. They're like, like we'll try to make it work. And we've heard Miles Turner on the trade block for the past like 5 years. Yeah, this guy has been in every trade rumor, and he has never been shipped. So we kind of knew this year, like Sabonis he will be off the team by the end of the year. At least him or Turner will be off the team.
Right.
And it's funny now. I don't think they need to trade Turner. Right? They have Halliburton. They can see how they work together and see if they get some chemistry. Or if they do, they have Tristan Thompson now to just play as them for center. Which, remember when Tristan Thompson he was in the finals for like 4 straight years.
He was an impactful player.
He was an impactful player. Now he was on the Celtics last year. And then he was on the Kings, and now he's just sitting on the Pacers, cheating on his girlfriend.
Yeah, his career has not followed a good path.
Yeah, he's still a champ, though.
Right.
That's all that matters.
At the end of the day, he is a champ.
So, I guess people love grades. We'll give these team trades. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments real quick, and we have a hot take saying...
We have wise picks coming in.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 wise picks for the Super Bowl, and we have apparently Harden to the Raptors. Calling it right now. I don't know if that's a trade deadline deal or him in free agency later. I don't think the Raptors are going to trade for James Harden anytime soon, but maybe in free agency. All right, people love grades. We'll give him grades.
We're firing away.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Indiana, I don't know, B+, and then
I just looked at grades on CBS, so now
you're biased. Now you're swayed.
I'm biased.
You're swayed. All right.
I can't think of any other grade than an A for the Pacers and a C+ for the Kings.
Well, I was gonna say a B+ for the Pacers and a C+ for the Kings. So, I guess there you go. Same thing that the other one just said.
Yeah.
All right. The other massive trade that happened yesterday was C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., Tony Snell to the New Orleans Pelicans for Josh Hart, Thomas Satoransky, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Who didn't he lose? I didn't know that guy was in a thing. Yeah, that guy.
Did he lose?
I didn't know that guy existed. A 2022 first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. So first of all, everyone was posting end of an era, CJ McCollum, Dame Lillard. Yeah, end of an era that did absolutely nothing and won absolutely nothing.
Well, the same thing happened with Wall and Beal when they traded Wall.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, let's look back at all of these great moments, and it was like they took the Celtics to 7 games in the second round, and that was it. There was like no actual winning. The Blazers at least made it to like a conference finals, I think.
Yeah, once.
And they got rolled. So,
yeah, but they played together for like 9 years.
I know I know.
And it's funny.
It was an organizational failure on their part to not put together, and it's very similar to what happened in Washington, where you have studs or 2 studs in the backcourt, and you can just never put a roster around them that's built to compete in the playoffs.
It's funny. I think unless you have the talent that like the Golden State Warriors have with Clay and Steph, I think it's hard to build around 2 guards.
It is.
Especially CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard are 2 small guards that couldn't really play defense, so that they were getting exposed all the time. And the CJ McCollum, like, they played together for 9 years. He was in trade rumors for like 8 of them. he was every deadline he was getting dealt somewhere in eight of those years. So now it finally happened, and I kind of love the trade for both teams. I think both teams did pretty well in this.
Yeah, I mean the Blazers like had to get rid of him at some point, so I guess you can say like they got a decent haul back. And
they got rid of
give him props for that.
Larry Nance Jr.'s salary, Tony Snell. I don't know how much he made, but Tony Snell, and they get back I think Josh Hart's pretty good. I think he's decent. Thomas Satoransky, which I think they flipped with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We could talk about that in a little bit. But the main thing they did was free up cap space for the offseason. They have, I think it's like $20-something million trade exception, and they're going to have a spot for 2 max players in the offseason. So
yeah, it actually seemed, at first I was like, oh, now that means Lillard is going to get moved as well. But then like the more I read into it, it seems like they're actually doing it the smart way and just getting rid of everyone around Lillard that they don't need.
Yeah.
And that they're not going to need next year when they actually try to recruit like big time names to come play there.
And Dame Lillard is out for the season. He won't play again. And they talk about someone who can get a top 5 pick. They have they technically traded their pick to the Bulls, but it's lottery protected. So if they get anything within the lottery, which they won't make the playoffs, so they will, they'll get their pick back. And they could be another team that gets a top 5 player or a pick, and then either use that to trade for someone or see if Dame likes any of the rookies, or I don't know. And then see what they can do from there, because if they have pieces they can still trade for a bigger player, an all-star player. And now they have the cap space for it. The only issue is ain't nobody want to play in Portland.
I was going to say that too. That becomes the next difficult thing. Is playing with Dame seems very attractive, but playing in Portland, maybe not so much. Which is why it's curious that he's like on board with it. I don't know if he has said anything about it, but like if he is on board with this, like it's gonna be tough.
So he did come out, and did you see on IG Live? He saw, I think he was either LeBron was in the comments or he was doing it with LeBron, and he goes, "Oh, King James, make the call." That's what he said. He said, "Make the call."
Oh no.
So, I think, I don't know if that's Dame saying he wants out. I doubt it. I mean, it's not him demanding a trade, but and the Lakers, there's no shot they're ever gonna get Dame Lillard, but he wants him to make the call. Whatever call that might be, he wants him to make it.
Apparently, Damian Lillard said, "My heart remains with the Trailblazers."
Yeah, but what's his mind? What's his mind?
Whatever that means.
The heart can go anywhere, but the mind wanders. That's the one that wanders. I'm looking at the.
And there's so many teams that want him too.
Oh, who wouldn't want Dame? Who definitely wouldn't want Dame? All right, we have some comments saying that the Trailblazers lost this by a mile, which I'm about to get to the New Orleans side of this, where they need one key piece to make this team I think possibly even a contender. They need goddamn Zion Williams to get off his fat ass and play. He needs to get off his bum ass foot.
Is he ever gonna play?
I've heard nothing from him. He's gone MIA. He's like a missing person. We need to start putting Zion on milk cartons. Try to get him out of here. Someone try to find him. I mean, think about it. You got C.J. McCollum, now Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance Jr., Vernon Gomez, who has been playing great for them, and all they need is a star, and they have it. They have him on the roster. They drafted him first overall, and then they fed him a bunch of gumbo.
We don't know what he's gonna look like when he comes back.
He could be like 800 pounds.
Idea.
It could be like Jabba the Hutt slugging up onto the.
I mean, it's gonna take him like a long time to start playing full minutes again. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely. Remember, he didn't even play a game in the NBA, and they already put him on a minutes restriction.
I know.
He has been. I mean, these have been 2 disastrous years with Zion Williams. You draft the guy first over, and sometimes that happens. Joel Embiid was 3rd overall, didn't play for the first 2 years fully, and now look at him. But I just think Embiid needs to talk. I think Embiid needs to talk to Zion. Be like, hey, this is what I did. Like, maybe you can sit out for this time, but
yeah, but Embiid was like probably rehabbing and not.
No, yeah, not eating cheese.
Yes, commercials.
Yes. I know we talked about this a while ago, but that Mountain Dew commercial, it just makes him look so fat.
He's literally in the worst city to be in. I think he's addicted to eating. I think he's like a glutton. Like
it's
he has
funny.
An issue with it.
It's funny. We have no evidence of this besides every time we see him, he gets bigger and bigger. That's It's really, it's like scary.
For like the next picture to come out of like him on the bench when he like falls asleep and he's just morbidly obese.
We have Wyatt in the comments saying that he's in a time chamber. I don't know what the hell that means. I think that means like he's in I think he put him on ice. That's what I'm saying. Freeze him until he's ready.
Like the carbon freeze.
Yeah. Get him carbon freeze until the end. I don't know what the Trailblazers, like, I know they're getting rid of cap space. That's kind of their goal, but they're really like the worst team in the NBA right now. They're awful.
Yeah, they completely imploded.
The only thing
is that the worst thing when you're like sitting at the 8th seed every year?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You have no chance
I'm
anyway.
Mr. Blow It Up. I'm always
I know you are. With the NBA, I am too.
No, the NBA,
because it's like once you're in mediocrity in the NBA, you don't just have like a breakout season.
No,
like it doesn't happen. No. You're sitting there and you're only gonna get worse. When your ceiling is like the 4 seed, that is a brutal spot to be in. And obviously, it's better than being like, I don't know, the 12th or 13th seed every year. But at least when you're down there, you have like hope that you can.
It's all about the odds, baby. It's all about the odds.
Land a draft pick or bring in multiple max players. So that's why it doesn't even bother me.
Well, and you look at like the Brooklyn Nets. They were god awful. They got D'Angelo Russell. They flipped him, and they got lucked in to Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and that led to James Harden. So you could be shit and just get lucky, and all of a sudden you have a contending team.
Yeah, the problem there though is that that's New York and this is Portland.
Well, yeah, that's all. Yeah.
So it could backfire tremendously, and then they're just stuck with like the worst team in the NBA for 5 years.
Plus
and
Dame Lillard.
Sell the team. So
I don't know. I wouldn't want him to move Portland. I'm 100,000% on board for 2 more teams. I know this is like a conversation for much longer, but I am definitely involved. I think there's enough good players in the league, and I think that COVID has proved that we can definitely sustain 2 more teams.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
That I can think of, at least. Other than now, the divisions would be uneven.
Yeah, I guess, but I think there still is uneven divisions. Even if, like, right now, I think there's teams with 4 and teams with 5, or divisions with 4 and divisions with 5.
Yeah, there's 3 divisions on each side, right?
No, I thought there was 4.
5.
I know there is. Never mind, they each have 5. You're right. I could have sworn one of them had more, but
baseball for a long time had the weirdest setup where they had 6 teams in the NL Central and 4 teams in the AL West. And then they decided to move the Astros.
Yeah, but it's funny. The divisions don't matter at all in the playoff. I mean, in NBA.
In baseball, they do.
Yeah, no, and in football they do too.
That was so weird.
No one.
But yeah, I think it's only for scheduling.
Yeah, I think it's for scheduling and.
Which is how it should be. There's no reason. This is getting way off topic, but there's no reason for like the division winner to get a better seed. That has never made sense to me.
No, I didn't get that either. Like, especially in baseball, where, like, what was it? The Dodgers had to play the
Dodgers had to play a wild card game, even though they finished with the second best record in the league, just because the team in their division was first. And in football, like, the 7-9 Washington football team should not be hosting Tom Brady in the playoffs.
I like it in football though, just because in football it's like, I feel like it's kind of iconic, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Because every time it happens, like, some dumb shit goes down when, like, the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake game, like, Taylor Heineke diving into the end zone.
Yeah, that's
so, like, they are cool moments that happen, but it's stupid.
And I think it's stupid. You're right. With the divisions, and we're way off topic, but that's okay. Like, I couldn't, as a Celtics fan, I'm looking at it right now. I had no idea that our division consisted of the Nets and the Raptors. I thought it was I knew the Knicks and the Sixers were in it, but I had no idea who the other 2 teams were.
I know the Southeast. It's the Wizards, the Heat, Magic, Hawks.
There's one more team.
And Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at you, real super fan.
Probably just from 2K.
Real super fan. All right. While we're talking about the Trailblazers, they got Nickel Alexander-Walker, which might have been their best player on the roster from New Orleans, and now today they flipped him to Utah, 3-team jail, him to Utah. They get back Joe Ingles and Elijah Hooge. I don't know who that guy is. And they also sent out Thomas Satoransky to San Antonio, and Hancho Hernangomez is on Utah now. So kind of just like a mid trade all around. Not really anything like.
Yeah, it seems like teams are just like freeing up cap space, kind of.
Yeah, Portland's eating the Joe Ingles contract because he's injured. He won't even play.
Yeah.
But then he's expiring. I think Alexander Walker will play for Utah. I think they need it. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like 11-point scorer. He doesn't get a lot of big names, but
he's young though.
Yeah, he's young, and I'm looking at him right now. Yeah, he's averaging 12 points a game, and I think, and it's his second year, so. So good for that. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I don't really have another take on this trade, to be honest.
No, I don't have another take either. I think it's just a bunch of mid players swapping around.
Yeah.
So,
Which is what we've had like the last 2 deadlines have just been the
Hey,
trades
I
that
got
don't really matter that we just have to force conversation about.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh yeah, Alexander Walker.
Oh yeah, he's a real game changer for the Jazz.
Here's some more depth going forward.
That's
it.
What was I gonna say? We had what was nice about this trade deadline already is that we've had 2 big deals. So I like it so far. The other deal,
one probably coming.
We'll talk about that soon. Yeah, we did miss one. Karis LeVert and a 2nd-round pick to Indiana to Cleveland for Ricky Rubio, 1st-round pick, and then 2 2nd-round picks. This is just another Indiana taking Karis LeVert.
I think that the Cavs are going for it.
I love this Cavs team. I gotta admit, this Cavs team is like, I absolutely adore it, especially because I know LeBron's looking over at LA and just like,
yeah,
geez,
honestly. I mean, it took him a while to recover, but like they're a well-built team, and no one expected him to play this well this year. We made fun of him for having like 7 centers.
No, and it's working.
It's worked out.
It's working. They have Jared Allen and Karis LeVert again. So like they got all of Brooklyn's assets. They have which first of all, the fact that those 2 players aren't on Houston right now makes absolutely no sense. I know that was last year's trade, and we talked about it last year how Houston just got nothing from that deal, but whatever.
It's the weirdest deal I think I've seen in the
especially
NBA
for a
lifetime.
superstar.
Yeah.
So the Cavaliers is actually an interesting story. They got completely lucky where they got the 3rd pick in this draft, and Evan Mobley looks like the best player in it. He just he looks like if there was a redraft, I'm sure he'd go number 1. They have so much draft luck. They've gotten the number 1 pick all these times, and they finally land a 3.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say they have so much draft luck. I think this makes up for like Anthony Bennett.
That's true, but I guess lottery luck, not draft luck.
Yeah.
And
that is true because when they got Kyrie, they weren't supposed to have the number 1 pick. And when they got Wiggins and then flipped him for Love,
they weren't supposed to have that either. Yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
And again, great deal for the Cavs. They're giving up nothing because Rubio's injured. It's a shame that Rubio was injured. I thought he was a great fit for this team. I thought he was doing great. And I mean, it's gonna be a fun team to watch. I can't wait for the play. Like this playoffs is gonna be super exciting, especially if the next thing happens that we're about to talk about. And we'll do that right now. The rumor has it, the big rumor, James Harden to the 76ers yet again. And because same thing last year. But so apparently he's unhappy in Brooklyn. Yeah,
shocking, right?
Shocking. James Harden's unhappy.
What I read is that he's screaming for a trade.
Really, screaming. I'm hearing gaming steam as Nets and Sixers in the deal zone. That's a quote. The deal zone.
Well, didn't Woj shut it down though? Like yesterday? Was it yesterday?
I've heard many times that what's his name is not the coach Steve. God, what's his name?
Nash.
Steve Nash is not trading Harden.
Interesting.
But
it's not his say though.
No, it's not his say. And the thing is, I've heard that they're like saying, "Oh, he wants to stay in Portland." Or not Portland, sorry, Brooklyn. And no, it doesn't seem like he wants to. And my question is, what is so much better in Philly than in Brooklyn?
I mean,
not Kevin Durant.
Depth on the team, and you don't have to play with Kyrie.
The only thing that if he's in Philly, the workload is off of him. So that's nice for him. And I read this like article, and they had a great point. He came in as, I see this screaming in every way possible. He wants out. So Harden comes in, and he expects Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The first year he gets, I think together, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron have now played more games than the other three.
Yeah, it's tough.
Isn't that a shocking stat? Considering Anthony Davis has been injured for like 2 months, and still,
I was about to say he's always injured too.
Yeah, and they still have played more games than these three.
Uh-huh.
The fact that the third, like, he was supposed to come in, he finally is gonna have a team that can win in the playoffs. It doesn't have to be all him. He doesn't have to use all of his effort during the regular season to be gassed by the playoffs. And then he comes in and they're like, James, we need you to use all of your energy, and then gassed by the playoffs. So I don't feel bad for him. It's not like I'm like he could have been on the Rockets this whole time, but I don't know. I think they should trade him because I think he's gonna leave.
Yeah,
and
I think he will too.
I think a team with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons beats that Sixers team.
Would actually work out.
Yeah. That's actually my dream for it. I actually want it to go through, and I want Ben Simmons to beat the Sixers in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, I think you're accepting this trade. You're definitely like, you're not vetoing it. You're saying, hey, we're gonna get whatever depth comes with Ben Simmons because they got to give him something else. Like Seth Curry.
No, that's not like a straight up deal.
Yeah, no, or Maxey, a couple picks even that they can flip for some other depth that they desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Ben Simmons. You look at Ben. You go, oh, you don't want to shoot? Don't shoot then. We don't give a crap.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's absolutely fine. And he's a facilitator that can pass the ball and play really good defense on people like Giannis and Embiid.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about Embiid.
Nah, you could get Embiid's face.
Think he matches up with Embiid?
I think he could play Embiid. Maybe not for a whole playoff series, but he could definitely help.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
it's just funny that they're in this spot with no depth, and that probably makes Harden mad. Even though the reason that they don't have any depth is because they had to go get Harden.
Yes.
And give up the remaining role players that they had that were solid pieces. But yeah, and now, shockingly enough, he's upset again with where he is.
He's such a baby.
He really is a baby.
And
do you think he's trying to get fat again?
Do you think he will? He'll get fat again. Get the
sitting there like Zion.
Yeah, he's sitting there grabbing some
munching.
chips. I'll be in Philly soon to eating the Doritos. I don't know. I think he hasn't been in shape this whole season. I think he hasn't been in shape.
He doesn't look like he's in shape.
No, it really doesn't. And he had that. Remember in the, I think it was the Bucks playoff series. He had that one game where he just really went off, and then he hurt his hamstring. So it's the same issues that James Harden had in Houston just came back and followed him. It's he didn't change? What a surprise. The guy who went to strip clubs in Houston won't take the playoffs or won't take Brooklyn seriously? Who would have thought?
Yeah, look at how, if you're looking back as the Nets, you are just kicking yourself repeatedly for making that trade. Unless you can get Ben Simmons out of it.
That or a chip this year solves it. And everything else... You are losing your mind. No, I don't think they are. Not unless Kevin Durant comes back. And
well, he should.
Yeah, he will come back, but come back 100%, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they have to figure out the Irving situation as well.
Yeah, they have to do something with Irving. That's the first domino. Because if you're the Nets last year, you're fine with this trade. We have the big three. We are gonna win. They were we're going to win the championship. And then Kevin Durant's foot was too big. And now Kyrie Irving can't play in any home games. And you're not only do I have to deal with crazy-ass Kyrie, he's not going to deal with bitchy-ass Harden. Kevin Durant's got to be sitting there
it's to the point where you feel bad for Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's he's sitting there I can't believe I just left the Warriors for this.
I left Curry and Clay to play with Harden and Kyrie Irving.
Who Kyrie was he should have known he was a lunatic. He was on Instagram Live saying man, Kevin Durant and I spiritually, we're like the same person. He's like, in another life, could have sworn we were the same person. It's like, Jesus, Kyrie, you gotta lay off the shrooms, my friend. You gotta relax. And no, it's funny because I do feel bad for James Harden, or not James Harden, Kevin Durant, and
Yeah.
he's wasting his
He is
prime.
an impossible person to feel bad for.
No, after what he did. Oh man. So I don't know where they go from here. I have a believing that it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I do too.
It's all talk. It's just like last year. It's all talk,
Mhm.
and it's funny. I think I hate Daryl Morey, the guy from the Sixers GM, because like
he seems cocky to me.
he does seem cocky, and he's just so like he's obsessed with Harden. He like loves the guy. It's like, all right, it didn't work in Houston. What makes you think it's gonna work now? I don't know. I think they're in a much better team if they do it now, and I think it would. I think it actually.
I don't know. That Houston team with Chris Paul, I think, was probably better than this Sixers team with Harden.
It'd be
The
hard.
year that they took the Warriors to 7 and Chris Paul was hurt.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
was a
team
good
would have.
team.
That team should have won the finals.
That's true.
I think if Paul doesn't get hurt, they probably do.
Or they didn't miss 28 or 23 streaks,
Which
or
is
something.
like
22
one of
straight
the
threes.
most unbelievable things that's ever happened in the history of sports. That a team. Have you ever seen the SB Nation video about that?
27
missing
missed
that many
3-pointers
threes.
in Game
Unbelievable.
7.
Yeah,
Straight.
it's literally like one of the most shocking things, like statistically, it could have ever happened.
This YouTube video is 2.5 minutes long of just all straight threes that are getting missed.
Just all the bricks.
Man,
Heartbreaking.
it really is heartbreaking. Now I would lose my mind if that was the Celtics.
Yeah.
Especially Game 7, like that. I know this. We're talking about something that's 4 years ago, but still, that's ridiculous. That team, you're right, is probably better than the Sixers team, and they still couldn't win. So
Yeah.
who knows? If I'm the Sixers, maybe you try to wait for Bradley Beal later. I know he's getting surgery, or maybe you try to wait for Dame, because if Portland doesn't get anything in the offseason, they're gonna have to dump him eventually. So
Yeah. I'd almost rather have those guys.
Yes, I was about to say,
Harden.
I just don't want to deal with Harden.
Right.
And he can be a phenomenal scorer, but he hasn't ever won in the playoffs. And all he's been doing ever since he left Houston and the past 2 years in Houston is bitch and moan. He literally didn't want to play with Chris Paul, his best teammate he's had. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's like he wants to be the guy, but in Philly, I still like they're not gonna embrace him like they embrace Embiid.
No, they love Embiid over in
Yeah.
Philly. So there's no way they're embracing him over him. And I don't know if you've seen the newest beef history of Harden and Giannis, but it's phenomenal.
Oh, I haven't.
No, it's pretty good. And that's what they talk about. He wants to get his recognition and wants to get his style, and I don't know. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get it if he's on. I think if he's on any team with another superstar, unless it's like a Chris Paul type or any A1 superstar, he's going to be the beta. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
Bummer.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him whatsoever. I don't like James.
I don't either.
Final predictions. Unless it gets, I don't think it's getting done. I might sound like a dumbass, but I don't think it's getting done.
I hope it does, just to spice things up.
It would be interesting. It would make the playoffs really fun. And I think the playoffs are already going to be very fun. But I think what would make this deal get done is if Simmons, played at all this season. That could have helped. But
there are some wacky storylines in this league. Like, this doesn't happen in other leagues.
now it's this league.
It's only the NBA.
It's this league.
I mean, the NFL is like slowly kind of turning into that with Rodgers and everything. But like, guys are playing at least. This is just ridiculous.
A player today, SZ Okpala, got traded from the Thunder, or from the Heat to the Thunder for a 2022 second round pick, or 2026 second round pick. So that's just like, you might as well just give him up for nothing. Like, get a sheet of paper for it.
It's like when you're trying to make a deal on 2K and you're just throwing in like every last item.
Oh
that you
yeah,
have.
any tradable aspect that you have to try to get him.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that guy is, so whatever.
That name didn't ring a bell at all.
And you think a game like KZ would ring a bell, but no, it doesn't. All right, let's get into our top 5. It's been a while, and
It's been a while.
I'm tired of talking about this league. All right,
Top
Chris,
5 Wednesday.
Top 5. It doesn't roll off the tongue like it used to.
Listen,
But
that's okay.
yeah, that's all right. We'll make up for it, and by having an excellent top 5 this week. It is the start of the Olympics. It's all kind of still pre-stuff, right? It's not. There's no.
No, they're going.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it's all like what do they call that? Where you're getting like you're placing the placement ones, and there's still like stuff. I don't know, whatever. They're getting into it. They're getting rolling, and we're doing our top 5 Winter Olympic sports in general. Go ahead, Chris. You go first.
All right. If you know me at all,
I didn't even put it on my list.
My top 1 is curling.
I knew it was your top 1, so I didn't even put it on your list.
Which we won today. USA men started today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Beat the Russian Olympic Committee.
Ooh.
In extra ends.
Nice.
So that was exciting. I was watching in class because, you wait 4 years to watch this stuff, and it just so happened that it was on Beijing time. It was on at like 7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That just wasn't doable for me. So like they aired again at 5 o'clock. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait, and I'll watch it then. But then I had class at 5 o'clock, so I had to sit there in my econometrics class streaming the USA curling game,
Nice.
which is the second time in my life that I've watched curling during class, which I don't know what that says about me. But yeah, curling's the best. Like there's just so much strategy involved, and like
It's so
year,
interesting.
it's like all like the little terms that they use. It's just fun because it's such like a niche sport that only so many people play, but like the people that play, like they really know what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
And yeah,
What's fun about
it's
curling?
Also like it's a game too. It's not like an event.
Yeah, no, it is a game, and it is a game. And I think the coolest part about curling is that there's not a lot of noise that goes on during it. So you just hear these Swedish guys and Russian guys just like yelling at each other the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea what they're saying, but you know that they're conducting the offense. They are doing something, pointing them around and getting them going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a blast to watch. It doesn't look like it would be a blast to watch, but it gets intense.
No, people really hate on it, which is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
I feel like if you take the time to like learn the rules, and you can
really appreciate
it. I'm like relearning now because
every 4 years you forget. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm not watching like the World Championships or anything. It's only the Olympics.
That's fair.
But they had him mic'd up earlier too, which was cool. But like the one guy, the one announcer was on the team 4 years ago that won gold, and that guy sounded like he was speaking a different language when he was explaining what was happening. I was like, guy, you gotta dumb this down a little bit. Like this is, there's no way that people understand what you're talking about.
Do you think? I mean, there's curling leagues, right? I'm guessing. I'm assuming there's curling leagues.
And I know they have like world rankings of teams.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, I've never paid attention to it outside of the Olympics.
My number 1 is speed skating. I love speed skating. They all look like Frozone.
They look so goofy.
They look cool. I think they're like
they do.
They're sliding down the track, going and racing. I mean, I think it's intense. It's intense. It's fun.
It's like Slenderman is what they look like.
Yeah, they're all super skinny. Sometimes they like brawl. It's intense. That speed skating.
It's weird how they have like 2 people going at once. I always think that they're gonna collide.
Oh, they come so close
the way that
too.
They like switch as they're going. I don't know how they pull that off. I want to see them do it with like 10 people at once.
And I think I love it so much because I can't even regularly skate. So it's like the fact that they're just going for speed out there. And you're right. Yeah. They're all like these lanky athletes that have long legs and long arms, and they do look like Slendermen because they are in like these black suits and just whoosh, whoosh. And I just got to think, like, if anything's chasing after you, I think the fastest, like, not like, of course, like anything in a car or a motor, but one of the fastest things, like, if you're on ice, you're screwed. I'm done for. I'm on ice. So, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's crazy, like the amount of pressure that they put on their ankles too. Like when you see the angle at which like the blade is hitting the ice, it's unbelievable that they stay up.
That they stay up and that they have literal knives on their feet going around, and they're not hitting anybody. They're not like, I'm surprised someone doesn't lose a finger every 4 years.
Yeah.
Even with them like kicking up, you know, it's
Uh-huh.
like they're kicking up and they could hit someone behind them, and it's dangerous.
Yep. I love this part of the Olympics too, where like right at the beginning, and
Yes.
as you're watching all the sports for the first time in a while, and you just sit there in awe at like everyone, and you're like, look at that, like how do they do that? Like that's so cool.
Oh, I know.
And then
And
after
it's
like a week, you're like, wait, the Olympics is still going on. It's happened every time.
Yes,
It's
that
like
does
the
happen every
same
time.
little trend in my brain. Right now, I'm like everything I want to watch, because I just want to see it and like appreciate it. But I know in a week I will not care about anything.
I just think it's like watching all these guys, even when they fail or whatever. It's like, even if they fail, like never in my life am I gonna do anything that they do.
Yeah, all right. What was it? We were watching snowboarding the other day, and there were so many people that fell, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is an Olympic event. This many people should not be falling. Like, I know that they're trying to do fancy stuff, and they have to like hit the fanciest stuff to win gold. But, like, you can't be falling this much. It was like 50% of the runs they were falling. I was like, this is unbelievable. They're Olympic athletes. But anyway, my number 2 is, I lump these together because they're so similar, but the skeleton and the luge.
Okay.
The sled where they go down the ice. That I just love that, because it doesn't look like they're doing anything.
No, and I always think, how is one person faster than the other?
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, what? All they do is hop in a thing.
And it's like, what are they doing? How are they? But like, if you were to do it, you get smoked.
No, we'd get
I
murdered.
don't know why.
It's funny because the luge is them on their back, and the skeleton is them on their front, and it's two different sports, and and I'm sure there's a completely different strategy to do it.
Yeah, the skill set.
And that's another one. It's like, you fall off that, and I know they have helmets, but that you're gonna hurt yourself. Yeah, it's you are really hurting yourself if you get caught and falling off those.
Yep, the stakes are very high in the luge.
Oh, definitely the luge. I mean, it looks like that they're on nothing. It looks like they're just going down a water slide. That's like,
I could sit and watch the luge for hours. This guy's going boom, boom, boom.
And they're going like,
and they have the different camera angles because like you can't cover the whole track.
Oh yeah.
So it'll like
and they go
like whoosh, and then it just cuts to the next camera, and then they go boom around the corner.
Yeah, it's like a movie. It's like it's like
fun.
a car chase scene in a movie, and they're going like 85 miles per hour. It's crazy.
That's the other thing is like they always flash. And you're like, oh, they're really going that fast. No way.
It's ridiculous. I love the skeleton in them. All right, my number 2, I'm going with the biathlon. They ski, they shoot. It's everything you want. It's like, let's just take the Winter Olympics, but give them a gun.
I love thinking about like, who came up with this sport?
Yeah, honestly. Like someone's out, I feel like someone's like out skiing, like at like Round Top or whatever ski mountains like around us, and they just bring a gun and they're like, all right, let's just shoot some targets while we're skiing. And then like, wait a second, we could do scoring off this.
I think it started as like somewhere out in the depths of Canada, like they would hunt. And they would
probably.
ski through the woods, and they just like shoot bears and stuff. That's how I like to think that it started. And they're like, you know what? This is too much fun to not be a real event.
It is too much fun. Like when that's on, I'm glued. I'm glued to the TV. And it's the summer they have the normal shooting, and they're like you run to somewhere else and shoot something else.
It's nothing.
It's not as cool when you pop some skis on and start going down the slopes. Like, it's crazy.
Looking at pictures of it too, just like on Google Images, like the first picture is them all lined up, like it's a firing squad. They're all like this.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at it right now.
The second picture is just them like skiing along.
No, it's like ski. Bang, 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 bang. Ski. Oh, it's funny, and it's also funny because it's like there's so many degrees of skiing in the Winter Olympics, where there's like the
Right.
long jump and the speed skiing and and then there's this one where it's just like they're just trotting along, and the skiing. Of course, it's an aspect of it, but it doesn't seem like it's a physically demanding aspect. They're just kind of like casually skiing to the next one. So I think it's hilarious. It's almost like they waddle over to like the next. They're like, all right, everyone, and especially when they're all in like the pack, they're all doing it together. It's like a bunch of penguins.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best shot of the whole thing. That's when they just light up the targets, and it's just right on our merry way. Here we go.
Yep.
Next target. All
That's
right.
funny.
My next one. Which one? This one's tough. I'm all right. Still gonna go with ice hockey, but it's gotten worse because they've taken out professionals. Yeah, I want to watch the pros play.
So I didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, now it's back to amateurs.
So who's playing? Like, can minor league players play?
No, that's professional.
So anyone with a contract can't play.
I don't think so.
I should get good at hockey. I'll start playing for the U.S. team. Who's playing?
Players.
Oh, so they can play?
Yeah, well, amateurs. Yeah.
I get. Yeah, but I mean, I guess they're collegiate. They're not amateurs. I guess
They
they're
are
not professional.
amateurs.
Yeah, you're right. They're not professionals. Yeah, you're right. They should have professionals be able to play. I think it's stupid that they can't. To be fair,
I think it might have been the league that decided. Like, it wasn't like the Olympic Committee. It was the players that were like, "Yeah, we don't want to do this anymore."
To be fair, it's in the middle of their season.
It's in the middle of the season,
So it's like they don't want to stop and focus on something else. Like, luckily,
and they have the World Cup now of hockey that
They
they
do.
do like before the season starts.
I should get into hockey. They have, I think, like, you're right. The NBA, they have players can play, but it's not during the season, so it's not disrupting anything. It's not gonna injure any of them. That it won't. I mean, it will injure one of them, but it won't. Affect their whole season and the playoff runs and stuff. Maybe NHL should just give them a break. Like, the Olympics
That's
is only
what they used to do.
3 weeks, yeah, but.
Yeah.
I guess they don't want to. Their break, they actually want to break. They don't want to
Right.
then go play more
Travel
hockey.
to China
Yeah,
and play more
play
hockey.
hockey.
I put it on there just because it's like I said with curling, like it's a game between two teams where there's points, and like that's to me is way more exciting than these events.
Oh, they always are. And in the summer and the winter, all the Olympic events where it's teams, I think is all way more fun.
Plus, there's like so much history with USA Hockey and like Miracle on Ice and that stuff, so I had to keep it.
That's
high
true.
Up on the list.
Yeah, good pick. My next pick is the luge. We just kind of talked about that though, didn't we? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We talked about. Oh no, yeah, we did.
Well,
Sorry.
I can.
No,
I
no,
picked
no.
skeleton and luge, so I'll just make mine skeleton officially.
No, that's fine. We already talked about it.
Okay.
It's the same thing. We'll skip it. All right. I like snowboarding. Snowboarding's sick.
I didn't even have snowboard. I don't know why. I don't. Like, I think it's cool, but I think maybe like the wipeouts the other day just bothered me too much, and I was like, you know what? I don't even.
Not throwing them on. I like the tricks. I like it when they're racing. I like all of that stuff. So I mean, I don't even know if they do race, but I love like the X Games and stuff. I think that's dope. And the Olympics is dope. And now it's last year of Shaun White. He's gonna retire after this Olympics. And I'm pumped to. I don't know if I hope he hasn't gone already, but.
Well, not in like the finals.
Not in the finals or whatever.
So.
Yeah. But.
Let's see.
I can't wait to see him do his final one.
Yeah, that's one that I will like actually make sure that I know when it's coming on, because usually with the Olympics it's just kind of like you turn it on when you feel like watching it and you just get whatever. That's one that I'll have to pay attention to. That
is the best part about the Olympics, is that every hour of the day you are like, I could watch sports if I wanted to. Like, I could do something if I wanted to and watch sports.
Yeah.
So
what I have noticed though is you have to jump through hoops to figure out when like specific events are on.
That is always
so annoying.
With the Summer Olympics,
why it's like that.
With the Summer Olympics, with the Winter Olympics, it's so frustrating. Like the reason why I never get invested and like really want to watch it all is because it's not all their fault. I mean, they're playing in China and they have to use the daylight, so it's like it's always at these random ass times, and they're always through like it's like if you go to this NBC channel, it's this one, this one is this one, this one's not even live, it's not shown anywhere, but it'll be shown later, and it's whack. We have Peacock in the apartment, and they have everything, which is nice.
Yeah, I bet.
All right. Next up,
you. My turn.
Yeah, you're third.
Bobsled.
Oh, bobsled. That's another one.
Bobsled is different enough to separate because it's like 4 people, and they have to like run and then all hop in, which is awesome.
Yeah, the bobsled is also another one where you're like, me and my 4 buddies could do this. Me and the boys could hop in this one, and just
absolutely
start. All we had to do is be coordinated and run together, and we can figure it out. I want to know what practice is like for the luge, the skeleton, and the bobsled. Is it just a giant hill, and they're just like, all right, it's got to keep going down.
Yeah, and you just keep running and timing and running and timing.
Yes.
Like I don't know what kind of physical shape you have to be in. Like I'm assuming you have to be in decent shape, but it's not like I don't think you're working out that much, right? For the bobsled.
And it's funny, and it's like maybe you want some bigger dudes. Get some weight on there, make it go, make it start flying.
Do you? Would that?
I don't know.
How does the physics work there?
I don't know. I'm in physics 1 and I have an exam on Friday. I should know, but I don't know.
I think what makes the sleds so exciting for me, because it's 2 of my top 4 right now, is just how oblivious I am to like how it works.
No, that's the part of it. The fact that we think we can do it is the best part.
Yeah, right.
When you think you can be an Olympic athlete, you're like, all right, this sport's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, this sport's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have a better chance of doing Olympic bobsled than I do of Olympic curling. I feel like I could learn bobsled in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think
years
like
to master.
I think I would have a better chance being an Olympic bobsledder than Olympic water polo player, and I actually played water polo. It's like, come on. I don't know. I think that's the most fun about it.
Yeah.
All right, my next one, 4, right? Yeah, long jump skiing.
Yeah.
Love the long jump. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to see?
I don't know how they
jump?
don't break their feet every time they do it.
I don't understand.
That's the one that I'm like, all right, maybe I couldn't master that one quickly. I would also be horrified to do it.
I would never do it. They are like, they're vertical in the air. They are facing, and their poles are going out that way. And they don't have poles. I mean, the sticks are going out that way. And they are just flying down that hill.
Yeah. I mean, think about like if you accidentally tilt back too much, and then all of a sudden you're literally landing on your neck and you're done.
Or lean too far forward.
Yeah.
You're going over. It's like,
and then you literally get snapped in half. How does that not happen more?
I don't know. Or like, what if you accidentally land and for some reason your skis are a little too low, and it's like, then you get it stuck. Like, what if you get it stuck on the snow and then you flip over and like completely destroy yourself? It's truly impressive, and I give props to anyone who does it.
It's definitely one of my favorites to watch. I had that on there as well. All right, my number 5. We'll wrap it up. Go with the classic figure skating. And figure skating is, I think, the only one where I root for them to screw up.
Oh yeah, you gotta root for them
because
they slip and fall.
I mean, especially when it's like the mixed doubles, when you have like the guy and the girl and they're doing their routine and one of them screws it up and then they just get like the dirtiest look ever from their partner. It's fantastic.
So I gotta figure out the name of this one real quick. It's the skiing where they're going down the hill and they're maybe it's just
alpine skiing.
Yeah, alpine skiing.
Yeah, that was the other one that I had on my list.
Yeah,
when they're going through the the gates
and they're going around the curves, 80 miles per hour. Woof, woof. It's crazy. The fact that they hit those little things all the time impresses me so much. They must come back with their shoulders sore. They're hitting that at 80 miles per hour. It's crazy.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen on yet either.
No, I watched it. I watched it last night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, yeah, that's Round up the top 5. Any honorable mentions? Mine.
No, alpine skiing was the last one that didn't get taken. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we probably hit.
We had a good amount of them.
We hit 10 of them.
Yeah.
What else is there?
I'll tell you right now. There is
There's freestyle skiing.
Nordic Combine. Nordic Combine? I don't know what that is. Nordic Combine. Cross-country skiing. Combined with the ski jump.
Cross-country skiing's the worst.
Cross-country skiing combined with the ski jump. That's kind of cool. We didn't.
How does that work? Because like, wouldn't it take so long to get back up to like the ski jump hill, or do you jump and then you ski?
I have no idea. I don't. The article just says ski jump is pretty dangerous. Yeah, but I think it's jumping and then you ski. Because you can't jump with the poles. So you probably finish the jump, then they hand you the poles, and get going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you know that there was ice dancing? I thought they were all just called. I thought they were all just called figure skating.
Oh no, there's dancing, which I don't know what the difference is.
Doesn't seem like there would be a difference. I mean, we did miss cross country skiing, which blows.
It's kind of boring.
I'm not a big fan of cross country skiing. It's like it's like watching a race, a race, like of people running. And I don't care about that.
It's kind of like
but like a long distance race, yeah.
Where they have like too much equipment and they're all like stuck together. It's it's kind of pointless. Fun fact about ski jumping: 6 fatalities have occurred in the U.S. during the past 50 years.
Damn.
And 12 out of 100,000 participants annually
die.
So,
Jeez. Oh my god.
I mean, like that's not that many.
No, but still.
But it's more than like another sport.
It's more than like probably any other sport. But
yeah.
I don't know. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it's not more.
Right?
I'm surprised it's not more.
Especially like beginners. Like, how are they not just dropping dead all the time?
Yeah, facts. How are they going down that at like 80 miles per hour and just like the first day it's like, how many times have you done that? It's the first one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like, I think if my first one, I'd be flying up there and I'd hit the ramp, I'd be in form, and then I'd look down, start falling down.
I think I'd just black out.
I don't think I would. You'd be going down the hill, just
shut down. There's no way that I would make it from there, jumping and landing without like passing out.
Maybe that's what they're doing. They have those helmets on.
They just completely
shut down. Black out, and that's why their body's like that. They're just still. That's what their body is. It was meant to do with the gravity and everything. Oh. All right. Well, that wraps up the. It's been a while. That felt good. That felt really good. That does it for the pod. See everyone for a Super Bowl packed episode on Friday. Happy hour. Be there or be square. We'll see everyone there.